From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Well, good morning, everyone. Here's the thing. When it comes to the fires here, they're kind of ever-changing. So I'm not going to give you the latest, kind of what I do typically every morning this week so far, where I've been giving you the latest fire perimeters, the heat signatures, and how far they are from the local communities. Because what I'm noticing here, we're not seeing a lot of change each and every single day, and you might be noticing that. So rather than waste everybody's time, I'm going to keep an eye on things. And if I see any drastic changes in those fire perimeters and any distances to any communities, I will, of course, update you on that. Now, that all being said, you may or may not know I do have a 24-hour streaming channel, and I encourage you to go check that out. Now, there are several ways you can get it. From the website at weathernorcal.com. You can get it from Amazon Fire Stick, and not to mention Roku. Just search for Weather NorCal for the apps in there, and you can watch it on your big screen at home. You can also watch it from your app, Weather NorCal app, from your iPhone or Android. Just tap on the live channel and it will take you right there. You tap the play button and you've got the live channel there. Now, it's a live channel and it has a loop about every hour. So you'll just kind of have to wait until that section comes up, but that will be updated on a regular basis on the live channel with the distances from the communities, the latest fire perimeters, and the latest in those heat signatures as well. All right, so now that I've given you all that information, let's get to the forecast, shall we? This is what the weekend is looking like. And, we're not expecting any more thunderstorms this weekend and even through next week. Highs are expected to be near normal without any major heat waves in the forecast anytime soon. Now, the smoke, of course, is going to continue to be a problem here, especially for the areas around where the fires are. So really where we've seen most of the smoke has been in Trinity County, northern Humboldt, Del Norte, and western Siskiyou County. It kind of goes outside of some of those ranges at times. Here's Saturday night. Now we take you into tomorrow morning at about 8 a.m. We're seeing some of that smoke making its way into the El Turris area, by the way. But when you get into the yellows and oranges, what you're seeing here is, of course, just kind of that moderate range. So you might just get that faint smell of smoke, otherwise just kind of hazy, smoky. And look at this, it's actually getting pretty close to Redding, so maybe around Lakehead you might get some smoke here for Sunday morning, maybe along the I-5 corridor there, and maybe even Redding, getting in on some of that light smoke as we go into Sunday morning. And then, of course, it'll probably kind of retreat back up to the north and west through the day on Sunday. Here's what it looks like for today in the valley. Temperatures, of course, slowly increasing, but, not that bad for this time of the year. Highs in the mid-90s. We take you off into the mountains where temperatures there in the mid to even some upper 80s. But you'll notice no thunderstorms in the forecast. You'll see that on Futurecast right here. There, of course, you can see the mainly sunny skies. We take you into your Sunday. Once again, we're looking at sunny skies in the forecast. No showers, no thunderstorms in the forecast for both today and tomorrow. And not to mention next week. Let's take you to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, Friday of next week, that next weekend. However, I will say this. By around Friday, Saturday, or Sunday of next week, we could be looking at the potential of an area of low pressure coming down from the Gulf of Alaska. If the setup is just right, we could see showers, maybe some thunderstorms for some of the higher elevations by next weekend. But that's still a long ways out. We're going to have to kind of wait for more model runs before I can really set that in stone. And then, of course, that's, of course, looking at Futurecast again. We don't need to do that. Let's take a look at the cooler air that's going to be in place, too. So what's happening is temperatures may increase a little bit here for your Sunday as some heat kind of comes in. Now, this is the same heat that's been over the eastern United States all last week, and now it's back over the desert Southwest. But what's preventing it from moving over us is this right here. And this has been a pattern we have been dealing with all summer long. We get these pockets of cooler air, these troughs of low pressure that essentially act like a brick wall and prevent that heat from moving in as strong as it could. Now, it's still going to be warm. It's just not going to be as warm as it could. And then eventually through next week, that cooler air rises to our north, back up into Canada. But look at this. Another pocket of cooler air comes and breaks down from Canada, and we see some not quite cool air, but more mild air. Again, preventing this heat from building in as strong as it could. As a result, pretty much status quo with those temperatures. In fact, take a look. We're fairly flatlined with these temperatures through next Thursday. Now, as I mentioned, remember that area of low pressure I was talking about by the end of next week that could bring us some showers and thunderstorms? Well, that will also quite possibly be responsible for a cool down going into the end of next week into next weekend. So we'll have to kind of look for that. All right, here's what it looks like for today. Yeah, pretty much status quo here. Temperature is actually just slightly below normal for this time of the year, not only for the valley, but for the mountains as well. And when we look at your 7-day forecast, yeah, not bad. There you can see for Siskiyou County, we're going from the mid to upper 80s through Monday to the low 80s to around 80 degrees, give or take, for Tuesday through Friday. We're also seeing that nice little dip in the temperatures for Alturas, but not so much for Susanville. Probably somewhere in the mid to upper 80s here for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but you'll see a bigger drop in the temperatures by next Friday. Now your 7-day outlook for the valley, pretty much the same thing here, right? Mid 90s, give or take, all the way through next Thursday. There you can see for Chico, Red Bluff, and Redding. But look at Friday. We're actually going to see a nice little dip in those temperatures right around the upper 80s for all of Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico.